Welcome to a new episode of Video Car Review, our international branch of Ausfahrt TV. I'm in Cascais in Portugal, close to the Atlantic here, and today I'm presenting you the all-new Porsche 718 Boxster. And to those of you who don't know us yet, first of all, I'm Jan, but I call myself Mr. Z because my English is kind of kinky, you know? It's not that easy, but I hope you understand me anyway. Okay, our format is a little bit longer than anything else you see on YouTube or in television, but don't worry, we have jump markers in the description text of the video so you can jump from chapter to chapter. Besides that, our videos are always structured in the same way. You always have the same chapters, so you can compare cars very easy the way you want to. And you find the specs of the car, of the test car as well in the description text. Porsche finally decided to give the Boxster as well as the Cayman a number. They're now called 718. And the ancestor of the Boxster and Cayman is a Porsche 718 RSK from the year 1957. I confess I didn't know this car, but there were just little units built. It was a race car, won several prizes, and the previous model of the Porsche 718 was a famous Porsche 550 Spider. Embraces James Dean killed himself in this kind of car. However, Porsche says the 718 stands for mid-engine, lightweight chassis and a good and strong four-cylinder engine. And that's what we see here, the new 718 Boxster. Back in 1996, Porsche first introduced the Boxster to the public. And I remember back then I was giggling. What? That's not a Porsche? What is it, you know? However, during the years, and we are talking about the fourth product generation now, this little Porsche Boxster developed and now is a real Porsche, at least in my opinion. The second product generation, by the way, was introduced in 2004, while the third one was introduced in 2012. And this baby was introduced at the Geneva Auto Show in March 2016. Its internal name, by the way, is Type 982. Do we have competitors? Well, probably quite a bit. I'm just naming a few, like the Audi TTRS as a convertible, the Mercedes-Benz SLC, the BMW Z4, and maybe the Jaguar F-Type convertible. Well guys, I just hurt my back a little bit yesterday. Otherwise I would have flipped the car to show you the engine, because from here you cannot see it. It is a 2-liter mid-engine 4-cylinder Boxster engine in the smaller version, in the Boxster, that has 300 horses and a maximum torque of 380 Newton meters. We're driving the faster version. I get back to our engine here in a bit. However, both engines have 35 horsepower more than the previous model, while they get, at least according to Porsche, 13% more efficient. For instance, they worked on the start-stop thing, so whenever you roll out, the engine stops already. And both cars come by factory setting with a 6-speed manual transmission, and you can, however you see it, upgrade it to a 7-speed dual clutch, the PDK from Porsche, the automatic transmission. Somewhere down here we find the heart of our test car. It's a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder Boxster mid-engine, and it has 350 horses. It's good for maximum torque of 420 Newton meters, and you get them in a range between 1,900 and 4,500 RPM. And if I just said Boxster engine earlier, I meant Boxster. However, our test car is equipped with a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission called PDK. Let me give you the basic specs of our test car, the 2016 Porsche 718 Boxster S with PDK and chrono package. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds, and the top speed is reached at 285 kilometers per hour or 177 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2016 Porsche 718 Boxster S will take 64 liters or 16.9 US gallons. Porsche gives a fuel consumption figure of 7.3 liters for every 100 kilometers driven or 32.2 miles per US gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 870 kilometers or 540 miles without stopping for fuel. CO2 emissions for the 2016 Porsche 718 Boxster S should be 167 grams per kilometer according to Porsche, and be aware it's a figure for the PDK. The Porsche Boxster S has a length of 4.38 meters or 172 inches with a wheelbase of 2.48 meters or 98 inches. It is 1.28 meters high, so 50 inches, and it is 1.8 meters wide, so 71 inches. For the turning circle you need at least 11 meters or 36.1 feet of free space. The curb weight comes in at 1,385 kilograms or 3,053 pounds. The maximum loaded weight is 1,695 kilograms or 3,737 pounds. In Germany our test car would cost round about 100,000 euros. By the way, the 718 Boxster is a complete new car. I think they only took 4 or 3 parts from the previous model. Everything else is rebuilt and redesigned. From the front, the designer wanted to make the car look a little bit wider, stronger, more male, you know. And what they did, they put 2 lines in here to make it look wider. They gave us more or bigger air intakes to show, well, the car has now turbo characteristics. And by the way, the turning signal indicator, they are now here very, very tight and slim. The new Porsche Boxster comes with big xenon headlights. For a little bit extra you get the big xenon headlights with a Porsche dynamic light system, you know, dynamic cornering light, and you know the reach of the light depends on your speed. For even more, in Germany it's almost 2,000 euros extra, you get the full LED headlights. With a Porsche dynamic light system as well, and all the lights are completely redesigned so they look different from the previous model. Well, first of all, from the side view, they redesigned the wheel arches, the side skirts, they did something with the door handle, and the air intake now has 2 fins in here. And by the way, our color is called Graphite Blue Metallic. It's one of 14 colors you can choose from. Besides that, you can choose of 4 different colors for the soft top roof. And I say this because everything costs extra for Porsche, but they have 4 colors even for the Boxster that come without an extra fee. That's white, black, red and yellow. By factory settings, the new 718 Boxster S stands on 19-inch alloys. We have optional 20-inch Carrera S alloys on here, and they changed quite a bit with the brake system. First of all, the 718 Boxster got the brake now from the old Boxster S model, while the 718 Boxster S got the brake system from the 911 Carrera. However, if we had this Carrera brake on here, it would have red brake calipers, but we got yellow ones, which means that we have the ceramic braking system, which is quite expensive, costs in Germany around about 7,300 euros extra, but so far my driving experience, it's a really awesome brake. Alright guys, I would just close the roof first. It starts raining a bit, and then I would like to stop the time how long it takes to close the roof. So start! Alright, almost 10 seconds, and again opening, same procedure. Well, not taking the window, it's 10 seconds as well. And I would like to let you know that you can open and close the roof even while driving up to speeds of 50 kilometers per hour. By the way, Porsche offers for the Boxster and the Boxster S 3 different suspensions. Regular one and the PASM, the Porsche Active Suspension Management, in 2 different ways. The regular one with adaptive dampers that has 10 millimeters less ground clearance, and the sport version that has 20 less ground clearance. I have to say I am not aware of the number of the figure for the ground clearance in general. Okay, they did quite a few changes from the rear as well, and I think, as well as my camera guy Alex, that especially from the back the new generation of the Boxster looks much more mature, especially due to this black contrast line here with the Porsche letters. That really gives the car a new and unique look. By the way, the edge down here between the reflectors is new as well, and they totally redesigned the full LED rear lights, where we have quite unique 4 dots for the braking light, which I think is pretty cool. However, if you're driving behind a Porsche Boxster 718 Boxster and you don't know, well, is this a Boxster or Boxster S? Because some guys, they just leave this lettering away. Well, from the exit pipe, you can say if it's one exit pipe, an oval, that's the Boxster without the S, while the Boxster S always comes with this dual exit pipes in a round shape. From June on, Porsche will supply as well a special sport exit system for the Boxster. I'm not sure about the previous model. With the new Boxster, you have to lift the handle up, which is pretty nice in terms of ergonomy. The door opens around about 75 degrees, and we got frameless windows here, of course. By the way, we got the Boxster S dorsal panel. By the way, I closed the roof so you guys can see how it is to get in with the roof closed, which is more complicated than with the roof open. And when I open the door, the driver's seat slided back, so it's easier for me to get inside. And I will try this out. Well, it's okay. You know, you get down quite a bit, but overall it's not too bad, even for an old guy like me. Alright guys, welcome inside, and I just closed the roof, opened the roof because it's sunny now, and I would really like you to see whatever is in view or in sight. First of all, material, leather, 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 even the door panels leather. Wow, I'm so excited, but you gotta know, if you use the Porsche configurator yet, you know that each piece might cost extra. So I'm not sure. I get confused whenever I use the Porsche configurator, especially because, you know, this big number that I cannot afford adds on, you know, whenever I click on something. I'm just kidding. But this way the car is configured, it's really nice and beautiful. Wherever you touch it, you feel leather, and who doesn't like leather? I mean, some guys, you know, the vegan people, I think they don't like leather in their car either. But this way, it's just fine and awesome. Yeah, well, welcome to Video Car Review, the year number 1. Never mind. The guys who know what I'm talking about will have fun, I guess. Okay, so material, all awesome. Space, well, it's a sporty car, of course. Still, we have quite a bit of middle thing here. So you have a little bit, you know, privacy from the guy or from the passenger. And the roof is open, of course, but I can tell you I'm 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11", and I can put a fist between my head and the soft top, which is fine. So you have enough space, and I doubt that anyone will have problems finding a good sitting position up to 195 centimeters maybe, so 6'5". But I'm not sure. You got to try out because I'm not that tall. Ergonomy. Well, this display is facing no one, but both people can look at it. Then you have a bunch of buttons right here. First row is for the infotainment system. The other one is for the AC, for the air condition and seat condition and whatever. It looks like a lot of buttons, but you get used to it pretty quickly. Besides that, I haven't driven the new 911 yet, so the whole steering wheel is new for me, and I'm missing the fourth stick here that was good for the board computer, the multifunctional display. That's up here now, but I will get back to this when I tell you about the steering wheel. Well, all in all, that's it, and I'm starting to do the regular program. Nothing to reach the safety belt, and that's the length of the safety belt. You know, I'm not really a small guy, but even bigger guys can buckle up with ease here. The seats, we got sport seats, very comfortable, perforated leather. You can heat them up and cool them down, both with 3 intensities, and you can even do both. Why should you? Because heating 3 intensities, air condition 1 intensity, it blows the hot air to your butt. It's nice, believe me. We can adjust the seats electrically in all different ways and directions. We can extend the cushion for a few centimeters. That's important for people with longer legs. We have an electric lumbar support. We can adjust the tightness of the cushion as well as the side support on your back. And you can store all the settings in 2 spots here. Besides that, the seats are pretty comfortable. Not pretty, they're comfortable on one hand, and then they're really nice for sporty driving because you get such a good side support, and you can even adjust it. You know, cruising, yeah, and sporty driving, so a lot of side support. All right, we got a steering wheel. You can adjust it electrically as well. I'm pulling it all the way now and going up first and now down. Yes, it takes a while, you know. I was amazed. The other day we were driving the new E-Class and I had the feeling that they tuned the electric engine of the adjustment for the steering wheel. This is still slow. And while I'm talking, please take care that you check out the radios. However, that's it, and I'm done for this time. It's a multifunctional steering wheel which uses the design of the steering wheel from the Porsche 918, you know, the fancy one. It's coated with leather, multifunctional steering wheel. On the left side, I can adjust the volume of the infotainment system and take a call. I have a favorite button. On the right side, I can switch through the board computer or the multifunctional display on the right side, hang up the phone call and have a back button. And down on the right, I have a jog shuttle controls to go through the different driving modes. And I may say, awesome Porsche, really awesome job. A jog control. You know, other manufacturers, Mercedes, where's the right driving mode? BMW, oh yeah, where's the right driving modes and all the others. This is easy, you know. I'm just turning it until I have the driving mode that I want to. Inside I have a push button that enables sort of the power mode. So once you push it for 20 seconds, the car is ready to rumble. And especially if you want to overtake in a maybe critical situation, push the button, all systems are firing up, and you get all the power that you need for doing whatever you want to do. All right, that's it. Oh no, we have got shifting pedals. They seem to be even alloy, you know, like real, not plastic with some metal coating. They seem to be really solid. They are big, easy to reach, even with a little finger, you know, if you have your hand in the wrong spot. And yeah, rock and roll. I use them today quite a lot, and I'm not the guy who uses shifting pedals because I'm boring. But this time I did, and I like them. All right. It's all about the steering wheel. Let's check out the mirrors. They're sporty, yes. And you can see everything what's going on behind you. Especially you can see the wheel arches sort of, or the back of the car, which is good for backing up if you don't have the rear camera. Besides that, I can really see the traffic and what's going on behind. The inner mirror is sort of like, yeah, you can rip it off and throw it away, actually, you know, because you hardly see anything. You see this little spot between the 2 seats. and that's it. So it doesn't help you a lot, especially if you have the roof up. It doesn't change anything. If I turn my head around my shoulder, I see everything. That's awesome because the roof is down. If I have the roof up, do the same stuff, I don't see anything. I have a big blind spot. On the other way around, with the top down, I still have the seat, the passenger seat, as sort of a blind spot, and it doesn't get better if you have a roof down because the blind spot is just even bigger. So make sure you control everything perfectly before you back up or do something, overtake something, turn. All right, besides that, the car comes, our car at least, comes with a rear camera. It's not cheap. If you book it, you have sensors in the front and the back and see what's going on, how close you are to whatever you encounter, and you have lines that show you where you're going. So that's neat too. All right, and now it's time to check out the cockpit. So let's fire the baby on. Yes. All right. On the left side, we have the speedometer going up to 300 kilometers per hour. Actually, I never use this gauge. Down here, we have the trip computer and the overall mileage of the car. In the center, because very important, you got the rev meter going up to 8,000 RPM with the red range starting at 7,500. Down here, we got the digital speed, very important because do you really want to see this way, how fast you're driving, or that way? Then we have a switch or an indicator which driving program we are using right now. And if we're going in manual, you see the current gear that's in, even in drive 2. All right. Here we got the multifunctional display. This is a trip computer, the tire pressure, stopwatch, the G-force meter, current speed limit, the ACC, well, some values about the car, like the pressure of the turbo, the coolant temperature, the oil temperature, and I think the oil pressure. What's going on with the audio system, the telephone, view for the, if you want to use the navigation system, another screen for the navigation, and back to the trip computer. Yeah. Besides that, down here we got the outside temperature in Celsius right now and the current time. Here's the speed limit. Here's the control for the ACC, and up there we got the control for the fuel tank. And that's pretty much it. Let's go down here. I'm pretty amazed about the new display of the infotainment system. I really like it. It's really responsive, especially compared to the old system. Look at this. And you can even have a little click that helps you to see what's going on. Besides that, there's a sensor that sees if you narrow your hands and you get more options. By the way, the blue stuff, that's the Pacific, no, that's the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, we're in Portugal. Awesome. Besides that, everything is redone neatly, and you can even swipe through things if you want to. Well, I never got used to this control. I think I'm doing something wrong. You can use the sources, activate your telephone. That's the car menu overall with a trip computer, stopwatch, assist systems, and settings. And we can get to the home screen as well as to the menu and do different stuff. Apps, you can connect your smartphone using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and my screen is just a different setting. And I like that even this looks pretty dull, it's not reflecting at all. Even with the sun down and with the top down and the sun on the display, you can read it easily. By the way, our car is equipped with a nice Burmester sound system. You can think yourself you want to use this baby with 820 watts for 4,000 euros, or a Bose system for 1,000 euros with 500 watts, or you stick with the regular speakers that only come with 110 watts. Another thing that is neat, well, actually sort of neat, you don't get the navigation system with infotainment system. You have to pay extra for this, but this way maybe the system is a little bit cheaper, because you can decide if you're not driving too much using the navigation system, you can still use it whenever you need it with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and the built-in systems, which might be enough for, you know, using navigation every once in a while. I can't not tell you if we have ambient light, because it's bright outside, you know, and we will have to return the car before night. And well, oh yeah, the warning light indicator's right in the middle. It's not too red, but still it's easy to find, you know, because it's centered, so that's good. And I would like to honk the horn for you. Sounds like this. Oh, that's it. Alright, and on we go with a video car review compartment check. In the door panels we have two compartments. First one is rather small for a wallet or some papers or in between. And behind here we have a little compartment where we can flip it open, sort of. And this bottle fits in here with ease. And we can even flip it again. Nothing in here so far until here. Here we got a lighter and a little ashtray for 5 to 7 cigarettes, I guess. Back here the armrest is not really an armrest, because, you know, how long are your arms? And down here we have a first USB plug and an amplification for your smartphone signal. So once you put your smartphone in here, the signal gets an amplification. Behind there's another little compartment. It's all anti-slip surface, pretty neatly, and you can load your iPhone. Besides, this USB plug is connected to the system. Okay, we got a net down here. A lot of people like this, at least of my German viewers. And back there we got a 12-volt outlet as well. In the gloves compartment we have enough space not only for this baby here, but 2 Porsche warning vests. I feel so tempted to forget one of those in my pocket, and I'm really wondering if they have the Porsche logo on there. Really curious, but I'm such a nice guy and will just leave them in here. Besides, we have still some more space for wallets and phones and some other stuff, so it's quite a little bit of room. It's illuminated, but not by an LED. Here's a second USB plug and an aux in. Up here, push, and you will find your cup holders. Push again and it looks tight and tightened up and neatly. Let's take this bottle in here. Okay, that's half a liter, you know. So this won't go for your track turn or curvy country roads, but you know, if it's a little bit smaller, it would work fine, I guess. Do you mind if I take a little sip? Oh, Portuguese water, a little bit chlorred. Alright, back in there, babies, because we don't need you for a trip. In the sun visors we have makeup mirrors, both sides illuminated by LEDs. And funny thing is, the whole thing is tilted a little bit. So when I first looked, I was tilting my head to have a straight picture. The mirror itself is pretty tiny and yeah. But next to it we find a little clip. We have reading lights for the driver and the passenger. And that's it. I'm done. Before we check out the trunk, or rather the trunks, I would like to show you the key. It's as usual with Porsche, a sculpture of a Porsche, the Porsche logo or the badge on top, and then we got 4 buttons, unlocking, locking, open the trunk in the front and one push button to open the trunk in the rear. By the way, we can open the trunks from the inside as well. Next to the driver's seats we have 2 push buttons. And if I look inside here, we got a storage for 150 liters or 5 cubic feet. Okay, in the front we have space at least for 2 carry-on luggage pieces and even a little bit more if you push this to the side. I will give you some numbers. You have to lift up your luggage around about 60 centimeters, so 24 inches, and then lift them away around about 30 centimeters, so 12 inches, to let them go down 50 centimeters or almost 50 centimeters, so 20 inches. We have a frame here, width in the front of 64, in the rear of 75, and the whole thing is 43 centimeters or 17 inches deep. Okay, let's look inside and check it out. So we got the warning triangle here, a little bag for the first aid kit, a little LED on the side to illuminate the thing, and that's already it. That's the trunk in the front. Here we got the thing for the windscreen wiper fluid, and I think that's for the braking fluid. And there's not much more to say. Okay, let's have a look in the trunk on the rear part. We have enough space for a big backpack and again the carry-on luggage piece, as well as a bag on the side. So let's look around. Here we have a thing for the coolant fluid and the oil. And if you look at the side, you see you can have some extra space in the sides, and there's a little light, and that's pretty much it. We can put up to 125 liters or rounded 5 cubic feet of luggage in the rear as well. And my measuring tape, you have to lift the stuff around about Alright guys, a little bit about my driving impressions. I have to say first, Porsche gave us the opportunity to drive in an old airport and go high speed with the car. While we in Portugal, we have a speed limit on the country roads of 90 kilometers per hour. We didn't go to the airport or to the airfield because it wouldn't give us enough time to do the full review in German and English. So we skipped the airport, which is kind of sad. And we have to deal here with the country roads and not really high speeds. Still, even with low speeds, the car gives you a good feeling what you can do on track, and so I will share my impressions with you. First of all, we start out, we have 4 different driving programs: normal, sport, Sport Plus and individual, where I can use my individual setting via the right round gauge, the multifunctional display. Once we could put the car in Sport Plus, it opens the exhaust pipes, so the flap controls, and disables the start-stop options. And if I go in Sport Plus, we get the Sport suspension as well. And you might hear the difference between normal, third gear, and if I put it in Sport, it shifts back to the third gear, and in Sport Plus even to the second gear, in all driving the same speed. So we're still on the country roads, just accelerating a little bit to have a sound bit. Well, cannot do more, otherwise I would go illegal. So the sound is pretty nice. Even normal, you have a good sound, but then it's not too loud. But opening the flaps, you get a really, really nice sound. And I'm sitting here driving and wondering, is this really a 4-cylinder? Because the sound engineers made quite a good job with the Sport Exit system. And that's not even the optional that you can buy later on. I'm really curious how this will sound like. Okay, having this different driving modes. In normal mode, the steering is already nice and direct, but if you really want to go sporty, like here on the country roads, you rather put it in Sport, because there's a significant change. It's even way more direct, the steering. And it's really awesome to handle the car in the curves. It's really fun, believe me. Unless you hit other traffic. Okay, we don't have the 6-speed manual, which Guido, the Gateway, for instance, would prefer. We have the 7-speed PDK. I can shift with the shifting pedals, and they are really nice shaped, and they're really close to the steering wheel, so they really want me to use them, especially here. And the other way around, if you rather shift with a stick, you can go here, going manual and shifting. Regardless which way you use, the PDK puts in the next gear or the wanted gear just like that. And if you drive in normal and rather cruise, you hardly feel the shifting, so it's really seamless shifting. Unless you go in Sport Plus, then you feel the PDK do the shifts, but that's the way you want it because you're in Sport Plus. While driving in normal, well, the other day I had a Cayman, so just the current model, because they didn't update the Cayman yet, and driving the Cayman for quite a while, I felt that the suspension is nice and stiff for sporty driving, but using it as a daily driver, it was a little bit too stiff, at least for me. Yes, it's a sporty car, but overall I'm an old guy and I want at least a little bit of comfort. Here with the PASM, so the Porsche Active Suspension Management, going in normal, it is really, at least it feels for me, much more comfortable than the regular setting for the Cayman. So they increase the comfort level, while once you put it in Sport and rather Sport Plus, so the sporty setting, you feel a significant change. The suspension gets way stiffer, so you feel every little stone on the road, and it spoils you driving a little bit faster, even on tight roads. So the suspension, it has a nice spreading between comfort on one hand and sporty driving and stiffness on the other hand. As I told you before, while walking around the car, we got the ceramic brake system in here, 7,200 something euros extra. And actually I would love to have the regular brake, because this ceramic brake is just way awesome. It's a little bit too awesome for me actually, because it, you know, when I started driving the car, I was just, you know, putting my foot on the brake and tipping on it, and it was like, whoa, I'm sorry. And you know, then I was going on and pushing the brake again, and whoops, I'm sorry, because the brake has so much grip, you know, and you have to be really tender. But of course, this brake you only need if you plan on going to track on a regular basis. Otherwise, the regular brake would be just fine for you. But just, you know, going up and down this curvy road here, I enjoy the brakes because, you know, I know even if there's a guy in front of me and I'm coming from the back a little bit too fast, you know, I will slow down just right in time. Okay, talking about driving noise, well, we have this soft top, and the highest speed we could get to was 90 kilometers per hour. So I can tell you that you hardly feel that you are sitting under a soft top. There are no noises whatsoever until a speed of, I don't know, 120 maybe, 120 kilometers per hour. I haven't noticed any wind noises so far, and unless you push the throttle hard, even in normal, the car stays pretty silent. So if you shift early enough, you know, to keep the rev low, you have even a silent runner and being a normal, even with a comfortable suspension. In my opinion, Porsche did a really nice job giving the Boxster better spreading for, you know, daily driver, comfort driving, and then putting the beast in Sport Plus, a sporty little beast to have a lot of fun with. And once again, accelerating up from, well, 30 to 90 in normal, just the sound. So that's not, you know, too annoying, too sporty. Doing the same with Sport Plus and the flaps open. And believe me, if you open the top, you even have a more sporty sound. So I'm still a little bit amazed that this is a 4-cylinder working back there. I think they did a really nice job configuring the sound setup for this car. Okay guys, we just opened the roof to let you know how it is driving, you know, topless sort of, and going up to speeds of 90 kilometers per hour. It's the speed we are allowed to drive here. I can say it's not too much wind. Yes, you know, I don't have enough here. I would need to wear a hat, but it's fine. And even if I lower the windows, both windows now, just need to let the car get away a little bit. So nicer sound now, going 90. As you see, you can still hear me. Wind is not too much, so it's really cool because you can drive the Boxster even on colder days without getting a cold. Just a few words to the assist systems. We have a blind spot warner. It's here in the triangle, 3 LEDs that flash up if a car is in the blind spot. which we won't have here on this country road. We have an ACC, an adaptive cruise control, so it keeps the distance to the guy in front of you, even he drives slower than the speed you have set for the cruise control. And we have a traffic sign recognition, works with charm, even here in Portugal. And we have a distance control, so if you're driving too close to the guy in front of you, it gives you a warning, which is especially good in Germany because you will have to pay lots of money right now if you don't keep the distance for security reasons. I call it work, guys. The sun, the ocean, a sporty car, that's really hard work today. Okay, but we had rain as well, just to let you know. So let me come to my sum up. First of all, fuel consumption. Well, we only did 83 kilometers so far with the car and have a fuel consumption, average fuel consumption of 18.9 liters. But I have to say that the last 30 kilometers I just drove up and down the hill, up and down for the driving scenes, only in Sport Plus, only full throttle. Well, at least according to the speed limit. And so I think you can drive this car with 12 liters, maybe even less. I'm not sure. We need to have the car for a longer period of time to give you a really reasonable number. Driving fun. Well, I would give both thumbs up. Alex is saying 2 thumbs ups as well, so we have 4 altogether. This is a really fun car. It is fast for one thing, but that's not the main point. Only this little road, this little curvy road here up and down the mountain was so much fun because the steering, the suspension and the engine all together in a unit provides so much fun, so much driving fun, not to mention the steering. All together, it's such a neat driving machine that I'm not finding the right words, and I'm not trying to really, well, I'm trying to be objective, but I'm out of order sort of, because I was smiling big time driving up and down. It's so much fun, so precise, great suspension, everything is just awesome. And even the sound for 4-cylinder is plain awesome. They did a great job at Porsche. Okay, usage as a daily driver. We have the 2 trunks altogether around about 10 cubic feet or 275 liters, which is quite enough for 2 people, even for a holiday, You get 3 carry-on luggage pieces in there, or even a cake of beer in the front, whatever you need. So I think for 2-seater, it's quite okay. Yeah, I would even go shopping with this baby. Right, comfort. Well, that's the last point, and of course it's a sporty car, but I think in comparison to the Cayman I just had a couple of months ago, I really like the new setup for the normal, so the comfort setting for the suspension, because it really eases you driving it as a daily driver. Even on worse roads or bad roads here, it was still comfortable to drive with the suspension together with the seats. Quite nice, so I'm quite pleased, and the spreading is really neat between normal and Sport Plus. So on one side daily driver, on the other side track tool. I'm quite pleased. I know we didn't have the chance to really take the car on the Autobahn or on track or whatever, but so far as I can judge it, Porsche really did a good job with a 718 Boxster. I'm quite pleased. Okay, that's it. If you liked the review, please give me a thumb up. If you want to do something good for me, use Patreon or Tippy to send us €1 each month or even a US dollar each month. That helps us, and I can hire Alex, the camera guy, more often, which I really want to. Besides that, you can push our videos by using Facebook, Twitter or Google+, or put them in your private playlist on YouTube. If you have any questions about our review, please use the comment field and I'm trying to answer you. I think that's it. I'm your host, Mr. Z. My English sucks still. I hope you tune in next time when it's again Video Car Review. So long and goodbye. Somewhere down here we find the engine, the heart of our test car. It's a 2.4. Fuck. By factory settings, this baby, the Boxster S, stands on 19 and yeah, I'm awesome. I'm high.
Yeah.
I'm very, very
I'm broad.
enthusiastic. It stands for Porsche 718 Boxster and 718 Spider. In 19
Cayman.
product generation, the fourth one was introduced in March 2016 at the Geneva Auto Show, and I don't know how I started the sentence.